got to apologise, you guys, for this review coming out so late. I had to calm down. I'm sorry. I had to take some time out to calm down because I was just in sheer disbelief as to how this game ended today, thanks to Anthony Taylor. Now, I'm not a conspiratory guy whatsoever, but for me, Cucurella's hair grabbed in 4K and flung to the ground. The referee is in a prime position to see everything happening, as he should be doing, as that's his job. You're not a fan. You're not supposed to be watching when the ball's going. You watch the players inside the box to check for these fouls. And in this country, the culture to always just allow play to go on, the flow of the game to go on, it creates this imbalance where in the decisive moments, the referees don't have the power to make the decisive calls. And in the modern day now, we have technology where you can see action replays instantly in a few seconds from multiple angles in 4K, for God's sake. It's not good enough anymore. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. And I'm sick and tired of it from the same referee. The level of incompetency time and time and time and time again. What's it saying about the structure when it comes to refereeing in this country? You have the technology to help them. And every single time it's the human element that keeps disregarding the data and the tech that's there to help them and enforce them, for God's sake. And time again, they allow human nature and human biases to rule over what is clearly presented by technology, and it's not fair. And this is where, for me, this shit seems a little bit fixed now. Because if referees can pick and choose when they're going to call certain things and not do that for the flow of entertainment in the game, I'm sorry, that doesn't make things very fair. And people have to get this right yet. Obviously we miss chances, we're not blind, let's not be dumb now. But don't conflate the points. Don't conflate it. As any fan across this country from any club, the one thing you're hoping for and relying on is a fair game of football with the referee doing his job and doing things fairly. It is that simple. If your only argument is that we should have taken a chance, we would have won, then you're an idiot. I'm sorry. Wow. And I think what really hurts too is that two key moments, of course, Cucurella, Romero, getting away with that. Maybe the players should have really antagonized the ref more to really make more of a show of that. Because for me, they took advantage of the slightest loss of concentration when the players just lost their heads a tiny bit. And we conceded the cheapest of goals, considering that our defending was consecutive from those set-piece situations then, and we were clearing them and making them saves, and then we just kind of collapsed just like that. And that's what happens when you lose your heads. And before that as well too, Kai Havertz. Bentancur clears Havertz first before making contact with that pass. I'm not going to take nothing away from that stupid play from Jorginho. And you guys know I'm not the type of guy. I've been doing this for 6 years. I don't like to throw insults at players like that. But, that was pure stupidity then. My God. Playing out like that. Trying to do tiki-taka in that situation. That your instinct then wasn't to clear the ball. I can't be bothered to talk about that guy today. But this is what happens as we see from teams. They target Jorginho. And certain moments, the mentals fold. And he normally tends to be a weak target for us. And let's not forget too, Richarlison was offside when Holberg scored the equaliser in the eye line of Edouard Mendy. My God, you can't make this up. But for me, you guys, the passion I saw today, the desire, the dominance. Let's not forget the dominance. We bully them. What was the media saying? What was everyone saying today? Spurs are the team to watch. Watch out for Spurs. They're going to have us riled. They're going to have us beating this game today. Did you see how he completely bullied and toyed them throughout the entire game? It was an embarrassment. And for me, this is exactly why I never liked Antonio Conte. Back in the day on my channel, I used to get so much sick for it. I used to think to myself, this is the level you accept? This is the level you accept for Chelsea Football Club? A manager that plays like this? Tuchel dealt with him in this game today. The weak football. Parking 10 men behind the books. I'm seeing Harry Kane in his books defending as well too. Sorry, you're not my manager at this club. Not at all. And the way that we just completely outplayed them today. It hurts that in the end, refereeing incompetence was the thing that cost us. Not even the pure honesty of Spurs coming back to force something to make things happen. They capitalise off the incompetency of refereeing decisions. And I'm sorry, if I don't see any punishment for Taylor after this game, Something's got to be looked at. Something has to be investigated. But you guys, you don't know how long it's taken me to do this intro because you can still see the anger. Like all this time after the game's over. But I'm sorry, man. I was in that game today. The way the fans were supporting and singing the praise of the players today. The way they felt that energy too. The level of performances we saw from so many of them. All you asked for was a fair game of football. Oh, you don't seem to be able to get that. But now, you guys, let's talk about some of the positives in this game because there are many, many positives and many positives that showed all of us that bigger things will be coming for this season, yeah? Where do I even list them off? Koulibaly, world class. Loftus-Cheek, wow. Some of you guys have wrote him off and gave up on him because you just follow the marketing hype in football instead of using your own two eyes to fairly evaluate players. And I see it all the time, you know. It's always the marketing stuff that's said in the media or commentators and certain people holding to that so much. So what ends up happening is that you already focus on the negatives and you look for them. You disregard the positives because you've mentally told yourself that, oh, they don't really count because you're a bad player. And when one bad mistake comes out of 10 opportunities, that's what you hold on to. I'm so bored of that and I'm so totally against it in my analysis. Loftus-Cheek today was the weapon that I got right, that Tuchel was going to turn towards. And what did I say would happen in this game today? This would be a midfield battle. And this was a battle we won from literally the 5th minute all the way to the end. We stopped their wing-backs doing anything in this game today. Look at the caliber of their wing-backs compared to ours. You can't compare it. The quality is night and day. It's not on the same planet. And because we forced their wing-backs back, it meant our midfield could get on the ball. And wow, some of the football we played, some of the first-time passing moves, the fluidity that a lot of us have been hoping to see as well too. It forced back Spurs more and more and more. And of course, there are times when we're struggling to create opportunities. But you guys, football is a game where both teams are trying to get results for themselves. What did Spurs do? They put in a disgraceful, uber defensive performance, sitting back, parking the bus, barely doing anything. And of course, naturally in the end, there's a little bit of luck that's always needed was able to find their way somehow. But wow were their players rattled throughout the game today. Constant turnovers in their half, constantly losing the physical duel as well too. They couldn't play out at all for most of the game. We dominated with 70+% possession throughout. But of course, when you don't take them chances, when you don't capitalize on the moments, that's always going to put you up to risk in the future. And for me, from a tactical perspective, Tuchel got things 10 out of 10. Spot on. We dominated them. We nullified them. That's how you know the system works today. But it's down to the rest of the players to put those balls away and put those chances away. I'll get onto them soon, but let's focus on more of the positives first. I think I need to start with the first goal we scored, and what an incredible goal scored by Koulibaly on his home debut at Stamford Bridge. For me, David Luiz's, Terry's, Gary Cale's would have been applauding watching this game on TV today because it just like harnessed all the spirit from them. And I went back to what I was saying in my preview. When we play against Spurs, there's a legacy at this club, yeah, to always dominate and beat them. And this brings out a mental confidence that you don't always see in other games against other teams. Today we saw Koulibaly score a spectacular goal that was definitely worth spotting in the training grounds because there's no way that was not the case with how those near post runs were made to free up space for him. And with world-class players, it's very, very simple. They create opportunities that you aren't normally able to get because they have the quality to put in a lot more difficult chances that the average player can't do. I mean, I got to spoke on Koulibaly a little bit. I mean, from the way he was moving the ball out from the back, the perfect weight of balls, the passes breaking the lines as well too, how dominant he was in his duels. I mean, even when he, not only did he get the goal for us, but he made that decisive tackle in the opponent's half in the second half, winning that ball that of course kickstart another turnover when we had countless turnovers against Spurs today, which set up the second goal for Sterling to find Reece James free to put the ball in the back of the net. You're thinking during that time 2-1, that was that. But Anthony Taylor had different things for the game. But still, there was a lot of positives. And I really feel like the fluidity we saw at times, the confidence, I was seeing a lot of things I'm not normally seeing. Movements. That was the important thing here. Movement from the midfield. Jorginho, when he's in the base of that midfield, he had constant options and outlets around him, left, right and centre. And this is what I said in my preview. By having Loftus-Cheek inverting at times and doubling up with Reece James out wide, we forced their wing-backs back which allowed us to outman them in midfield. And we had Jorginho in the base of things, just behind Harry Kane. We'd have Mason Mount dropping deep in behind the Spurs midfield lines. And then we have the wing backs creating the width by stretching the play. And of course, players like Kante making those deep line-breaking runs as well to further stretch Spurs. And of course, get in behind and play through them. Everything was spectacular and powerful from Thomas Tuchel. And this is the new look Chelsea. And I think all we have to see right now is these guys playing more games together to further build their understandings and relationships, because this is still a process. Yeah, let's not get things twisted. Let's not have unrealistic expectations. This is still a process. Tuchel, one of the few lucky managers at this football club recently, it seems like he is able now to fully build a team in his image. And from what we saw against the Spurs team, where we were getting ruled out against them, can you believe that? This Spurs team, where people had Spurs as the favourites, we absolutely dominated, battered and destroyed them throughout this entire game. And that cannot be taken away from this team whatsoever. But what can be taken away though were some of the poor finishes. I'm looking at Mason Mount, a little bit slow at the start of the season. Certain shots that should be on target for a player of his quality. I'm not going to patronise the guy. You've been playing at this level for a while now. They should have been on target. I'm looking at the one where he had the curling effort from outside the box. And the one where Conor Gallagher set him up, even though maybe he wasn't expecting it. But then he missed the goal completely. And two crazy misses. Raheem Sterling, after great build-up play and link-up play from Loftus-Cheek, who was a thorn in that Spurs side throughout the entire game. That blend of physicality, technical supremacy. I mean, I'm not even going to go on, but all you guys that ruled him out, please rethink your ideas on football, yeah? Because you keep getting it wrong all the time. But the way he set up Sterling then, and, you know, Sterling, he was signed in these moments to capitalise and do what your Werners and others weren't able to do. So I was expecting more then. And of course, one of the crazy misses was Kai Havertz, where everything was literally in his favour. The ball coming to his left foot, stronger foot. Late man run, unmarked as well too, and completely missing the target. But I do have to say though, on a positive note, the Kai Havertz I saw today reminded me of the Havertz I saw at Leverkusen. And that's because of this new tactical shift where he can now receive on the right hand side. He can receive in those channels, and we saw him taking men on. We've never seen that often. We saw him making those late man runs inside the box, linking up with the midfield. And the guys pressing from the front today was absolutely spectacular. Absolutely spectacular today. I'm not going to ignore all the other positives I saw from him, irrespective of that ridiculous miss. But after this performance today, I'm expecting better things to come. And this isn't a performance where we should have any negativity towards this team whatsoever, yeah? Because you saw that desire on the field today, the application, and the way we played. This is how we'll be playing. The new look, fluid Chelsea football team. And let's just hope now that things are able now to improve in our favour. I mean, it's very bitterly annoying that Kante went off. I thought he looked supreme in this game today. Wow, everything's first time. How many tackles was he winning as well too? Incredible. Let's hope he's back soon. But it's kind of looking like Koulibaly is going to be very busy next week as he has to secure Frankie de Jong. Because I think after seeing Jorginho twice now, and he's just a weakness where teams will look to target him. He does good things, but he's still that player where you can force a mistake that costs us big. I'm sorry. For us to level up to challenge City and Liverpool, who have set the bar even higher now, I think these are the guys you have to sacrifice, because it would be a sacrifice to level up and improve. But yeah, to end things, of course, I'm incredibly proud of my team today. Incredibly proud. And I'm hoping that every one of you watching that are just as proud as me. And if you're not, then I don't really know what game you're watching, yeah? I thought Tuchel was spectacular. That's what I want to see my manager doing, defending the club, and just seeing that contrast between Conte and his backwards negative football. That was never good enough for this club whatsoever, and seeing what the manager we deserve brings for us has got me even more excited for this season, and I hope it gets the rest of you guys just as excited too. So on that note, I am Nini FC, this is Blue Lines TV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.